welcome to the Jennifer Diamond channel. In case you are new here, my name is Jennifer Diamond, and I'm a certified plant-based nutrition coach living a whole food plant-based lifestyle for health and well-being. And it literally gave me my life back, and it can help you with yours too, I'm sure of it. So I'm so happy you're here with me today. I love sharing with you about how I live and healed through whole food plant-based lifestyle, exercise, and so much more. I really believe living this way and adding in more plants can help you too. So it's so good to see you all here. Thanksgiving is in just 2 days here in the United States. And one thing that is very common to serve at Thanksgiving or anytime during the holiday season is a warm, cozy, nostalgic, and so delicious dessert. And that is pumpkin pie. Most standard pies, though, are made with heavy whipped cream, white sugar, brown sugar, and brown sugar is actually white sugar that has added molasses in it. And of course, they add eggs and so on. So I wanted to share with you my whole food, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, oil-free, salt-free, and sugar-free version of pumpkin pie. And you can have your pie and eat it too and not harm your body. So today we're making a simple crust together, a pumpkin pie filling and a whipped topping to serve on top of that has no animal products in it whatsoever. Are you ready for this? And at the end, we're going to even do a little special little chocolate treat on top, a little surprise thing. So anyways, and while, so while everything is baking, then we're going to take a deeper dive into the wonderful world of pumpkins. So before we get started, I just want to welcome everyone and say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Mona. So good to have you here. I see that there are other people signed in. Please feel free to check out the live where we have, the area to do the comments. For those of you that are watching this live right now, just feel free to post a comment, a question, or just share a thought. You can even introduce yourself. Maybe we don't know you yet. We love the interaction a live offers, so please reach out. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can still leave a comment or a question below in the comment area, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. All right, so there is so much to do. It's kind of crazy. So I'm going to just start. We're going to get some things cooking. And the first thing I want to do is start making the pumpkin pie crust and the filling. So we're going to start out by making a simple recipe that's basically dates, oat pie crust, and then from there we'll do the pumpkin pie filling that goes in the crust, and then we'll finish with the whipped topping. And it's so light, this whipped topping. I'm excited, and it's very airy and delicious. So also, if you would like the recipe, you can go get it on my website, thejenniferdiamond.com. Go under recipes, and this way you can just enjoy watching this and not worry about writing down the recipe or directions. Okay, so let's begin. Let's just get started here. So I'm just going to be looking at the recipe. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is, I'll just tell you what's in it. We have some gluten-free rolled oats that we turned into oat flour. I just started with these sprouted rolled oats. Very, very simple. You don't have to do this. I'm sure you can buy, the oat flour if you want, but I'm just going to show you, that here are the, here are the rolled oats. And all I did was I took them and I put them in my dry mix, and I just let it go, and it broke it down into this beautiful, what you see here, flour. And it's an oat flour. So I've got a cup and a half of that. And then I also have 8 medjool dates. I pitted them already. And then I added a little water to it to soften it. Now, my dates that I'm using, I got them at Costco. They're these, and these are so nice and sweet and like soft that I really probably didn't need to soak them, but I did anyways, because when you soak them, it really helps to blend them up nicely. If your dates are hard, which they can get hard even if they're in the freezer, that's okay. Just put them in some warm water and they will soften up. Make sure to take the pits out. And so we have that ready to go. And then I also have on top of here, you can see I have some vanilla bean powder. It's a half a teaspoon. And then I also have some nutmeg. And that's a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. And I'll just show you with the nutmeg. I personally have these. Well, you could do the overhead, Todd, if you want. I have these. These are actual nutmegs. You know, it's not ground up. And so what I do is I would take this guy here, my microplane, and I created this right here. So it's ready to go. You don't have to do it that way. I just wanted you to know that that's how I did it. And so we're basically going to be putting it all into my Breville food processor. I have the S blade that I'm using. I use the S blade more than any other blade, it just so happens. So I'm going to go ahead and add everything in here. Yes, I am going to, let's see, am I going to include the water? They're so moist. I think what I'll do is I'll just take them out and put them directly in here and leave the water and see if we even need it. And then I'm going to take the rest of these 3 other ingredients and plop that all in there. That's going to be our crust. So let's put that aside for a minute. And let me just take a comment here. Oh, hello, Nan. Welcome. She is in the chat as well. And then Mona says, is that a cup and 1/2 before blending? A cup and 1/2 of the oat flour. Yes. And what I have found is even after I blend it, it still measures the same. So, I measure it ahead of time, and I have measured it after, and it's the same. So, I did not measure them both this time, but I have done that before. So yes, a cup and a half. Let me rinse my fingers. Good question. Good question. Good question, Mona. Okay, so, you know, it's time for a little dance party. So unfortunately, I have so much stuff here. I could bring it over here. What do you think? Yeah, bring it over here. Okay. I have it plugged in here. Maybe we'll just do it over here. We'll do a little dancing. The idea is that we want to get it so that it sticks together and forms a crust. And then we're going to be doing some stuff over here. So here we go. Here we go, you guys. Make your own music. Get up, move, enjoy this moment. Here we go. Ready? And start. Woo! Yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Let's go. Let's go. I love movement. Yeah. Woo-hoo. All right. All right. And you can see this is coming along. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I want to stop it for a minute I better take these off as I'm screaming, just to show you how it is looking. You see that? So it is coming together and it is definitely moist. I do not need to add any more water to this. So you use your own judgment based on how it feels, and you can go from there. All right. So I think that for now we are finished with this guy. That was sure fun. Okay. And so let me just take the blade out. Now, sometimes it doesn't blend all the way. That's okay. I will help it blend. Let me set this aside. And so what I am going to do is show you how I set it up in the pie crust. Now, I have this pie crust here, and let me see what this pie crust says. It says 23 centimeters. So I'm guessing that's a 9-inch. I don't know, but I'm going to say that's a 9-inch. And you can use any pie crust. Now I'm putting in, I've got to start the oven. Because we are going to bake the pie crust just for 8 to 10 minutes on 350 degrees. So I'm going to let that heat up while we press it. Okay, I'm going to just take my rings off. Now, if you didn't want to have a crust, you don't need a crust, and we can talk about that later. But we are going to definitely do a crust this time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, you want to see this? Grab all of the crust, and I'm kind of using part of it to, scoop up any bits at the bottom, because I can just kind of blend those in. I just want to make sure I use every drop. Every drop counts. I always like to use every drop. So let me put that aside. And here we go. Look at that. You can fold it in a little bit if you want. But look do you see how nice this is? It's like dough, So there we go. I do want to look in the chat for a minute. We have, let me see if I can scroll down here for a minute. Hold on. I have got to say hello to everyone. Hi, Marilyn. Marilyn is in the chat. Marilyn Dubin, she says, hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you, too. And then we have Karen Zerlin 4302. Hi, Jennifer and Todd. I'm cooking along with you. Awesome. And Mona says, I literally saw a Breville food processor with all the blades for $60 on Facebook Marketplace. Don't you love that? Repurpose. Somebody's not using it, and here we can use it. And Gina S761, hi everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That is great. So, this feels really a little stickier than I'd like it to be. And so, if you want, you could certainly put well, I'm not going to. I was going to say you could certainly dust it, but I'm just not going to. So there's some different ways that you could press this. Apple 369 is in the house. Hi, Apple. Welcome. And so one way is just to use your fingers, right? Use your hands and just kind of work with it. Another way is to use a spatula. And with the spatula, you just are pressing it. And the idea is you want the center not to be a mound. You want it to be flat, and you want it to go up on the edges. Another way that I like sometimes to press into my pie crust is using just a simple glass, and I just kind of push it down. You could use parchment paper, which is, I think, what I did before, or you could even roll it, so just be creative. A big rolling pin doesn't work in this pie pan, but it just kind of helps. You see, I don't like that it made those lines in here, so I'm kind of going over that. But this is the pie crust, remember? So we're not going to be seeing it later, but you get the picture. Oh, let me see. Let's show you overhead. See how it's looking? It's looking pretty good. And I'm still going to continue to work it up the sides. I want to get the pie crust up the sides. And so I'm going to have to press it here, but then I'm going to be moving a little of it from the center. There, look at, isn't it starting to look so pretty? Because I don't want a big, thick, I don't want to cut the pie and then have a really thick crust. I like a nice little, thin crust, something that's not going to fall apart, hopefully, but at the same time, I don't want just a big chunk of this. So, and you can go up as high as you can. One thing that I notice when I cook it in the oven is that the edges can begin to burn if you leave it in the oven too long. So, I just want to get it so that the center isn't soggy, and that's why we're going to put it in the oven in just a minute here. And then while it's in the oven for such a short period of time, we will be working on the pie filling, and that is going to be fun. So just checking the chat. Yeah, it's so great to have everyone here. I'm so glad you guys have joined us for our live. I just thought it would be fun to do a little baking with you guys. So, you can see that it is imperfect. Will you do an overhead, Todd? I just want to show you if you can see this. You see the edge. It kind of, it isn't perfect. And that's some of the beauty about doing it with your hands is that it's not a machine or anything. And sometimes I don't fuss over, oh my gosh, this side is higher and this side is lower. That's all right. It's fine. Just have fun with it. And I like, as I have said before, playing with my food. So this is one way for me to get in and play with my food. And so I am just about ready. Let's see. Oh, that's still preheating. So we'll just let that. And actually, I think I did a pretty good job. And so now what I could do is go ahead and use that glass again and kind of roll it if I wanted to, just to make it nice and flat and even. You don't have to. It's just what you want to do. There we go. Look at that. There you go. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Now I'm just going to press a little bit more. It's a little thinner right here. So if we do have some browning, I would expect it to be where the thinner part is, but it's all good. And Nan says, remember to give Jennifer a thumbs up. Well, thank you so much. And Apple369 says, it's rustic, handcrafted food. It's beautiful. Well, thank you. And it's really tasty too. So if you enjoy pumpkin pie, it's really interesting. Not everyone in my family enjoys pumpkin pie. My youngest daughter has never liked it. She didn't like touching in to get the seeds or anything. And then there are other family members that are like, oh, they love it. I love pumpkin pie. So anyways, I'm hoping that you guys do too. Otherwise, maybe you wouldn't sign in here. Okay, so this is ready to go. And I'm just going to put it aside here because that's still preheating. I'm going to rinse my hands. Before I do that, I actually just want to talk about at another time when we're putting the filling in there, sometimes there's a little extra. And so there are some different ways that we can put the extra in. And I'm just going to talk about that later with some suggestions, depending on how much extra that you have. So I'm going to set that aside right here for a minute. And it looks like it says it's ready. So let me go ahead and put this in the oven. Just set it right there in the middle. And I am going to go for 10 minutes. I'm going to check it hopefully at 8 to 10 minutes. And then we're going to let it cool. Let me rinse my fingers off and we will go from there. Let me just rinse my fingers off. Okay. You know what I forgot is a towel, but that's because sometimes you just forget about these things. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is I am just going to move this whole thing right over here. Look at that. And we're going to move this out of the way. And now we are ready for our pumpkin pie filling. So let me just look at the recipe here so I make sure to tell you everything. Okay, so we are going to be using a pumpkin puree from a can. You can certainly make homemade pumpkin and use that. Just for convenience, because I have this organic pumpkin puree, and we're going to talk about some of the differences in a few minutes. So this is a 15-ounce can. I'm going to go ahead and open the can. The other ingredients we have are 12 medjool dates. Yes. So, this is a dessert, and so I want it to be nice and sweet. Oh, okay. Nan says, could you substitute equivalent amounts of sweet potato or butternut? And yes, you can. Yes, you can. Sweet potato for sure. I've never tried it with butternut, but I would say go ahead and try it if you would prefer that. Maybe you don't like pumpkin. Definitely. And if you do it with butternut, and it comes out, let me know what you think. Tell me. But sweet potato, absolutely. Or you could even do a half and half if you wanted to. So that's a great question. Okay, so we've got that here. We've got the dates. And then I am going to use the water that we have. I have the dates soaking in water. Same thing. I took the pits out. You must take the pits out. And the little button, I call it the little button. And I did that already just to save on time. Okay, I have a little note here saying, don't forget to get the cashew milk out. And I did. Here it is already. So we are also going to use some applesauce. These little ready-to-go organic applesauces are great if you don't eat a lot of applesauce. I like to make homemade applesauce, but I don't always have it on hand. And so I love these because they're exactly half a cup, and that's what we're going to use. I have tried this recipe after I just took a small scoop out of here. It was basically a half a cup, and I found that it needed the full half cup. So use the full half cup of applesauce. And then we're also going to be having some cashew milk. I made this, but you can use store-bought. And if you do, make sure that you check and see what is in the ingredients. Get an unflavored, unsweetened one. And then we're also going to have more of the rolled oats that I mixed up into the oat flour. We've got vanilla bean powder here, cinnamon, nutmeg, ground clove, and ginger. And again, the recipe is at thejenniferdiamond.com under recipes and then free recipes, and all the measurements and everything is there. Now, if you didn't want to use all of these different spices like I enjoy doing, you can use pumpkin pie spice, or you can make your own pumpkin pie spice. I have pumpkin pie spice sometimes, not today. So I went ahead and used these because I had it all. So whatever works for you. And this is my vanilla bean powder. So here we go. We're ready to go. And the first thing that we're going to do, obviously, we've already done, is soak the dates, which I did. Here you can see them. And then I would want to preheat the oven to 375. It's currently at 350 for the crust. So once I take it out, I will change it to 375. And then we are going to get a blender, and we're going to blend up in the Vitamix. Yeah, dance party. We're going to blend up some of this, and then we're going to have all the wet here, and we're going to pour it together with the dry. So I'm going to move the dry for a minute, and I am just going to be pouring in the soaked dates with the water. Everybody in, everybody in. Let me get my little handy dandy scraper. Let's check the timer over there. Ooh, 5. So it's halfway, maybe even a little bit more. You know what I'm going to do? Because the way our oven is, I'm going to just check it and turn it. You could do that if you want. Mona says, would you by chance know the weight of the 12 dates for both the crust and the filling? And no, I don't. And I know that dates change, depending on size. I just kind of eyeballed. I think, what did I write down? Yes. So for the pumpkin pie, it was about 1 1/4 cups. And then I actually diced them. Let me just check this while I tell you. Now, I haven't measured in weight, and that's something maybe I should have done. I apologize, but I just felt like it's based on sweetness preferences. And so if it's off a little bit, I think it's still going to be okay. This is looking really good. I'm just going to go ahead and let it finish the last 4 minutes there, and then we'll take it out. Hopefully that answered your question. And as far as the crust, I did not. So I would say it's probably about a cup. But yeah, just kind of, and the ones that I use are the bigger ones. I kind of go for the sweetest, largest, softest ones that I can find. So if there were some smaller ones, I might put 2 small ones to equal 1, but I did not do the weight. I apologize. So anyhow, good question though. And I should maybe work on that, huh, Todd?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Jill Caperton, 1568 is here. Hello, Jill, welcome. Core Scorpy is here. Nice to have you here. Welcome. Core Scorpy says, wow, beautiful looking pumpkins, Jennifer. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, okay, so let me just go back here And okay, so we are going to put in the soaked dates with the water. We're going to put in the cashew milk. When I make the milk myself, sometimes, and this is a half a cup, sometimes I have to kind of mix it up because it can separate sometimes. That's okay. We're going to get that in there. And I didn't mix it up, so there's some at the bottom. I'm just going to put it all in there, every drop that I could possibly get out. I am going to. And then let's see, what else are we putting in there? Okay, so we're just going to blend this until smooth. Yeah, party time. So let me put this can opener away. I am going to get this guy out here. You guys ready? Ready for the dance party? Come on. We get to do it twice. And I just am such a fan. It's so great. I'm going to pull this out and put this in. I love to put my ears on. I want my hearing to be good for as long as possible. When I was younger, there were so many times when I went to concerts or, didn't really respect or think about my hearing. And now I really do. So if you've got earwear protection of any kind and you are making this at home, don't be afraid to put it on, and don't be afraid to jiggle and wiggle and dance, because it brings up our endorphins and brings people together and smile, and it's just fun. All right, so here we go. I'm going to turn this guy on. You guys ready? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Woo! And I got to scrape it. So I have to take a break. But you can see, you want to show the overhead, honey? You could see how it's coming along. See? And it's getting kind of a caramely effect. I'm just going to scrape down the sides. Don't get too comfortable. If you're sitting somewhere, come on. We'll dance just a little bit longer together. It'll be fun. Todd, are you going to get up and dance too?
I am dancing on my stool right now.
You're dancing on your stool?
I am.
Okay. All right. Here we go. And you know what else? I like to scrape this cap out, because sometimes look at how much stuff is in the cap, in the lid. I want all of that. It's delicious. 29 seconds. So I'm going to have to go ahead and take the pie crust out before we start that. 22 seconds. I think I'm going to go. That's okay. I'm going to just let it go. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Let's see. I'm going to put this at 375. And let's do an overhead. I just want to show. See, it doesn't look burnt or anything, but the last one I did have some extra color, brown on it. So if you wanted to go a little longer, you could, but we're going to be putting it back in the oven. And so I don't, and I can just feel that it's just a little bit firm. And so if it feels still really soft in the middle, go ahead and put it in for a little bit longer. If it looks brown, take it out. So that's another way to figure out if it's going to work. And that's ready. So that's kind of good. All right, get up, get moving. Here we go. Here we go. One more dance party. Come on, come on, come on, people. Yeah, let's get our endorphins up. Let's feel good. We have these magnificent bodies and we want to use them and feel good in them. I do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Little booty movement. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Isn't that fun? So I still feel like this is a little bit, let me take these off. Now I can hear myself better. I still feel like there's a little bit of some Woo! Some dates that are not totally apart. That's okay, because we are going to have another opportunity to blend it up again. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a bowl. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. Woo! Dance party with earmuffs. Yes, Core Scorpy. Were you up? Were you doing it? Lisa's in the house. Hello, Lisa. So good to have you. Whole food, plant-based nut, Lisa. Yes, good afternoon. I just appreciate everyone being here. Okay. Woo! Got to catch my breath. Okay, so now what I'm going to do in this mixing bowl is I'm going to whisk together the dry ingredients. Well, I already have it all, so I'm just going to simply pour it in here. And let me get a whisk. Where is my whisk? Do I not have it? Da, 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 da. Oh, I know where it is. I saw it. It's around here somewhere. You know what? I'm going to just use a fork. I know it's around here somewhere, but that's okay. Aha, Todd found it. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Okay, so that's great. I do love a good whisk. And I had it over on the side for the whip topping that we're going to do. We just want to mix it just to blend it a little bit. That's all. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our pumpkin. This is pumpkin puree, pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling. And we're going to talk about that later. So let me just add the entire can. And if you are using fresh, this is 15-ounce can. I would imagine that measures about 1.5 cups, but you can always use a scale and weigh it 15 ounces. And let's see what it says on here. It also says 425 grams. So there you go. And that tells you. Although, again, if you're just tuning in, I did share that the recipe is going to be on my website at JenniferDiamond.com. You can go there, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't yet, and go to the recipe tab. When you click on it, sometimes it says free recipe. I don't know why. Click on that one and you should see it. It's the very first recipe there, and it has everything written out for you. And so hopefully you'll try it and enjoy it. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside because I want to talk about this later. And now what we're going to do is we are going to mix this up. Mix, 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 mix. Do you know? Yeah. There you go. You can see it. I am just happy that we have everything in here. The only thing that we didn't put in here is the applesauce. I think we should have put the applesauce in with the dates. Darn it. Did I not write that on the thing there? Oh, well. Okay, so you see that this is nicely blended. I'm going to go ahead and add the applesauce. I think what I would really like to do is add the applesauce with the date mixture. But in the end, it's not that important. As long as you get the ingredients in, you'll be fine. It's when you don't get the ingredients in that you have trouble. All right, so I got all of that in there, and now I want to also take this. You want to show? Okay. So you could see how it's looking. Look at this. You know, it's pretty thick, but it's perfect. And I'm just going to scoop it out. This thing here, this spatula, I love it. It's this like crooked side spatula. I got it at Vitamix. It's like one of my favorite spatulas for scraping not only the Vitamix container, but I love it for the NutriBullet and for other little jars and things that are hard to reach, or you know. So if it's something that you're looking for, I don't know, Todd, I don't know if we could share a link or not, but it's just something that I really enjoy. And it's a really good spatula. But then again, I am a spatula fan. So, okay, I've almost got it out, almost got all of this out. And then we are going to just continue to mix, and then we'll be ready to pour it into the pie crust, which should be nice and cooled off. It doesn't have to be room temperature or cold or anything. You just want it a little bit cooled down. All right, so this looks pretty good to me. Gosh, maybe not. Look at it. I'm still getting a lot of goodies out of here. Be a little patient with yourself. Have fun. Hey, and if you want to, go ahead, taste it. It is good. What's not to like about dates in anything? It's like nature's candy, don't you think? Oh my goodness. So, okay, I could be here another 10 minutes, but I'll try not to. I love scraping down every last drop. All right, so let me just get this going. Have to. All right, so now I'm just gonna mix this up. And sometimes what I find is that it's fine this way, but sometimes after I mix it up, I find that, it seems a little grainy to me. And why would that be? Well, because I made the oat flour, grinding those rolled oats, and I cannot get it super, super fine. And if you find that that's the case for you and you don't want it grainy, then there is an extra step that you can take, which we are going to do today. And that's just using this guy right here, this blender, this hand blender. And if you don't want to use it, it's still going to come out great. So don't worry about it. But I do, want you to see how, let's show them so we can see how this looks. Can you see it's a little grainy? See, okay. So let's see what we have over here. Apple 369, I'm the weirdo over here who doesn't like dates. Well, what can we sub dates for, you guys? Anybody have a suggestion? Core Scorpy says, dates look gnarly to me, but some taste like caramel. Yes, if you blend them up just right, they can taste like caramel. And Core Scorpy says, I've been converted Apple, LOL. So you guys are having fun with it. Yeah, so what other sweet, decadent something could you use if you weren't going to use dates? I'm not sure. I can't dance. Well, I guess I could. It's harder when I'm doing this, excuse me, this handheld thing, but we'll try it. So the idea is to put it underneath. If you have it too high up, it's going to spray, and that's no fun. Here we go. So let's see if I can just show you. And it doesn't happen in a second. It's going to take a few minutes. It's going to take a few minutes and move it around. But it's worth it, I think. There we go. See, I can already tell that it's just blending up a little bit nicer. I like it. Woo, look at the bowl. Remember those big spinning KitchenAids? We have one, but haven't used it in a long, long time. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, just a few minutes, right? I'm going to go a little bit longer. Yeah, look at that. All right. Just want to. You see that? Now do an overhead, babe. Can show them. See that? There you go. Look at that. Nice. Whoa. All right. So you get the picture, you guys. It takes a few minutes. Be patient. But for me, I just love it. The texture is so much better. And actually, I could keep going if I wanted to go a little bit longer, but I'm not going to because I think this is fine. So let me scrape that off. Let me just set this aside here. And da-da-da-da-da. Okay. I'm just going to scrape off all the goodness on the blade here. Let's see. Oh, Core Scorpy said use honey. Wow, that would be a lot of honey. And I know that some people, if you're vegan, that's not a vegan food. And so another thing is you could use, if you were thinking like along those lines, I don't know how that would work, but not agave. Agave. Oh, agave. Jill says agave. Todd's saying, look down in the chat. Okay, yes. But that, I don't know. I honestly don't know because there's no fiber and there's nothing really in it to hold it together. So just not sure. Mona says figs. Yes, very good, Mona. You get a sticker. Now, I have not tried that. Apple, what do you think about fig? Do you like fig? That would be really good because you have the fiber and it's sweet, as long as they're really sweet, right? And I guess it would probably have a different flavor. I wonder, this is really good. Now you guys got me thinking. So here we go. Look at this. Here is our filling, right? Got our nice filling. Look at that. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and get our pie. Now, make sure you're not going to burn yourself. Let's see. Nope. It is, I'm able to have it here. And now I am just going to fill the pie. Now, sometimes, like I mentioned, the pie is, it's not going to hold all this, but I get pretty close. And if it doesn't hold it all, depending on how thick your crust is and the pie pan you're using, then there is an alternative that we can use the rest of it for. There we go. See, any higher, I think that's just too much. So again, you might have a little left over, which I have, whoops, most of the time. Oh, I just blopped on here, but that's okay. I will clean it up. Clean, because if I don't, it will burn right there. All right, so this is now going to go into the oven. You can see it. Okay, you can smooth it if you want but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven for 50 minutes, 50 minutes. Now, you can put it in for 40 and see how your oven works. Mine always takes such a long time. And then I definitely want to stop it at the halfway mark. Check it, turn it. I think that that's really important. And then what can we do with the extra? Okay, so I have these little ramekins, this little muffin thing. If you have these silicone muffin pans, which I didn't take out, but let me take out just to show you. There's all kinds of things that you can put this in. And then these, of course, would be without the crust, which is also very good. The one that I made, I used this little guy, this square pan. And, but when I use this, because I'll show you, I have it right here and we'll talk about it later. I cut into it because I wanted to see how that was coming along. I lined this with parchment paper. I think it's just going to be so much better of a lifesaver. And so I am going to go ahead and line this and then, I can fill it and cook it as well. So should we just do that while we have the oven on? Let's do that. That will just take a moment. So I did not think I was going to do that, but let's do it. And then we'll be ready to start chatting about some fun things. Okay. So some people put it in, some people crinkle it, because why would you do that? To get it to hold its shape. I just do what works, whatever works, whatever feels good. And then I even sometimes cut the edge off. And so I'll just take this and put it in here. Now, I haven't tried this, but if you get it nice and smooth, texture-wise, like I probably would keep going, I would even try this in the The Ninja Creamy. I might make, what do you think, Todd? I could freeze this and we could have some beautiful pumpkin pie nice cream.
Pumpkin pie cream.
Pumpkin pumpkin pie cream. So I haven't tried that, but that would be fun. And so let me just spread this out and get this in. What do you guys think? Any other suggestions or ideas for what you would do with this small amount here? Let me move this. Can I just put that right there? Thank you. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that. And just because I'm going to cut some of this, it just makes it easier to pick up, when it's done. And so I do like that. Sometimes I get the, I have the white one here. I like the non-bleached one, but we ran out and we had that. I'm using what I have. So just use whatever you have as well. All right, here we go. I'm just going to stick this in here just to stick it in there, to have it in there together. All right, close that up. All right, now you guys, we have done it. We have done it. Okay, so while that's in there, I just want to talk to you about a little bit more about the pan. So I had the standard pie pan, right? The 9-inch round pie pan, and we are going to be cooking that for 40 to 50 minutes. Check it at the halfway mark. And just see how it is. You can use a toothpick. Maybe you don't need 50 minutes. 40 minutes might be enough. So check it at the 20-minute mark and then go from there. You can also put it directly in the pie pan like we did for a crustless version, and you can also put it in an 8x8 square inch pan. And if you're going to do that, then you're going to want to cut the time down. So depending on how thick it is, you could do 30 to 40 minutes. But if it's thinner, you're going to use less time. So I would just say, check everything at the 20-minute mark. Okay, were you saying, to check the chat here? Okay, Apple 369. For that little amount, I'd add some oats and ground flax and make some drop scones. Ooh, see? That's why it's so great for us all to put our minds together and share. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it seemed like a little amount, but it is, it is a small, what was that? Like, that wasn't an 8x8 pan, but it was a small pan, and that's a great idea. Mona says sometimes you have to do that with cucumbers. Oh, I'm not sure. They're talking about figs and dates and all that stuff. So you guys will have to read the chat. Unless, Todd, do you want to tell me what they're talking about?
Mona is not a big fan of dates or figs because of the pollination process, which I just looked up, and you should not. Also not a huge fan of sweets in general.
Okay. And I think at one point I did understand that there was something. It's been a long time since I learned about that. So you know what? You do what works for you. And so this is just what we're going to do. But I appreciate you bringing that up. And I'm just going to say, Jill says, did you make the crust? I'll have to watch it from the beginning. Yes, we made the crust first. And it was just a few ingredients. And yes, check it out. It was the first thing we did. And so anyways, while that is baking, let me just check this over here. Okay, we're going to be doing a whip for the topping, but it's going to take about 10 minutes of whipping, and I want to do it right close to the end. So what I am going to do now is just let's chat a little bit about some things that maybe we haven't thought of or maybe we have thought of. And if you have any questions or comments, continue, put them in the chat. I love learning from you guys and chatting with you. So I was thinking about this, why pumpkins are a Thanksgiving classic? Why? Why is that? And so in doing some research, we learned that pumpkins have a long history here in North America. So I have a question for you guys. Does anyone know what the Three Sisters crops are? Don't look at Google or ask your Alexa or whatever. Does anyone know what the Three Sisters crops are? Yes, Three Sisters. So while you're thinking about that or putting that in the chat, I'll talk to you. a little bit. So the first people who lived on the land that we now call the Americas, right? They lived here long before any settlers or colonists arrived. So their families, their cultures and traditions have been connected to the lands, to this lands for thousands of years. And they were the very first to grow and use pumpkins. So these indigenous communities, that's what we just shared about, those first people they planted pumpkins and squashes and corns and beans for centuries. And pumpkins were important because they were healthy, easy to store, and they could be cooked in many different ways. So pumpkins were also part of the famous Three Sisters. And do I want to say that, or should we check the chat on that, honey?
You can check the chat. There's some responses.
Okay. So let's stop before I give it away. And we have Apple says squash, beans, and corn are the Three Sisters, is that's what she's saying. I used to live at a housing co-op called the Three Sisters Rising. Cool place. Yeah, you are a cool lady. Jill Caperton 1568 says corn, beans, and squash also. Cora Scorpy says, okay, I don't know what that is. Cannabis, tobacco, and sugar cane, maybe. We're about to find out. Those were heavily traded back then, right? Cora Scorpy says. Yes, I think tobacco definitely wasn't sugar cane. And then Cora Scorpy says, well, looks like I'm wrong again. Oh, but those, that's okay. Marilyn Dubin says on toast. Okay, well, what do you mean by that? So we're talking about the Three Sisters and what that is, and you're saying on toast. That's a great answer too. And Apple says, LOL, Cora Scorpy, those are the three brothers. The three bros. Love it. Okay. The Three Sisters, a planting style where corn, beans, and pumpkins were grown together because they helped each other grow and keep the soil healthy. So I know we had a couple of you, Jill and Apple, were correct in that. Marilyn and Cora Scorpy, nice tries to share. And anyone else, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Okay, so the next question I want to ask you is, can anyone tell me what vitamin pumpkins are rich in? Do you know? Okay, so later, as the early colonists adopted local foods, pumpkin became a staple in soups and stews and even early sweet puddings. And by the 1800s, pumpkin desserts, especially pies, right? See where we're going with this? Were already popping up in cookbooks, and they became a symbol of the fall harvest, meaning abundance and gratitude. So when we eat pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving, we're continuing a really beautiful, long-standing tradition of using local, humble foods to celebrate the season. Isn't that cool? I love it. Okay, so nutrition benefits of pumpkin. And before we move on to that, let's see, any guesses? Okay, so Cora Scorpy said vitamin C. Mona said A. Apple 369 says, I do know. I'm changing my answer to Mona's, says Cora Scorpy. Final answer is A. I love that. Okay, so nutrition benefits of pumpkin, and we will talk about what the answer is in a minute. Pumpkin is more than just a tasty dessert base. It's actually a nutritional powerhouse because the pumpkin is rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. You guys are right. Supporting our vision, our skin, and our immune system. I am so proud of you guys. You just know this stuff. But that is not all, okay? Pumpkins also provide vitamin C, vitamin E, and a variety of antioxidants that help to reduce, what am I always wanting to reduce? Inflammation and oxidative stress. So pumpkin also has fiber, which supports our digestion. It helps with blood sugar balance, and it keeps you and me and everyone that eats it satisfied and not hungry or looking for something. It's naturally low in fat, low in calories, and when we prepare it with whole food, plant-based ingredients, you can get a dessert that's comforting and nourishing and tasty. It's also very versatile. Like we mentioned, making soups. You can do breads, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin ravioli, pumpkin hummus, pumpkin chili, and of course, pumpkin pie. And that's just a few ideas to share. So I want to ask you guys, what have you made using pumpkin besides pumpkin pie? Have you made anything else with it? You could probably even do pumpkin cookies. That might be good. Walnuts in it or something. I don't know. What do you think?
Pumpkin pie scream.
Pumpkin pie scream. We did talk about doing that, but we didn't name it that. That's really cute. Okay, so we're still doing good. You let me know when this is at the 25-minute mark and we'll check it. Okay, so another thing that I want to talk about, carving pumpkins versus baking pumpkins. There is a difference. Not all pumpkins, see, I have them right here. Let me just put them next to each other. And we're going to talk about this. Not all pumpkins are the same. So there are carving pumpkins, like the big pumpkin like I have here, that we usually use to carve and create a jack-o'-lantern, right? The face, usually for Halloween. And then there are baking pumpkins like this guy here that are meant for baking and using. The carving pumpkins are grown purposely to be large. They're very hollow and they're easy to carve. And they all have the seeds, and you can eat the seeds on all of them. And there's not to say you shouldn't eat a carving pumpkin, but that's not what they were grown to do. Their insides are usually watery, it's kind of stringy, and they're not the very flavorful. They're not like the best flavor. They're not the best flavor for baking, but the seeds inside, like I said, you can season those and roast them or bake them for a delicious snack. Pumpkin seeds are so incredible. They're full of potassium and iron and all kinds of stuff. I really enjoy putting pumpkin seeds on my salads and creating pumpkin seeds just as a snack even too. So, okay. I don't have time I was thinking maybe we would cut into these and compare them, but I think you guys get the picture, and most of you have cut into pumpkins before. So anything in the chat here?
You had asked, what do you make with pumpkins? There's quite a few. So Mona said smoothie. Of course, Corkery said he made quite a mess during Halloween with pumpkin.
That's a funny person there.
Apple made pumpkin cookies yesterday.
Ooh, see, that was good.
Lisa made your pumpkin pie balls last year and plans to make them again.
Yay, thank you so much.
Apple's been making a spicy bean, barley, and pumpkin soup lately.
Ooh.
And also likes to put it in spaghetti squash. I'm sorry, spaghetti sauce.
Oh, I see.
And spaghetti squash is also very good.
Yes, I love it.
Apple's dog eats a tablespoon of pumpkin every day.
Oh, do you know, our dog doesn't like pumpkin, but it's so good for their guts, isn't it? I wonder if we froze it, if he would enjoy it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyhow, that's great. Your dog must have really great coats, the fur and good digestion, all that kind of stuff. That's awesome.
And Mona says it's good in chili as well. And Lisa followed up with, I give my dogs pumpkin when they're not feeling well.
Yes, that's really good. And that goes to say what I was mentioning about gut health in our dogs. I don't know. I don't know much about cats because I'm allergic to cats. So I've never really been around cats, although they're cute. But, is that something you could give a cat if they had an stomach ache? I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah. For all of you cat fans out there, please
Anybody
let us know.
Okay, so going back to the difference between the baking pumpkin and the carving pumpkin, the baking pumpkins, sometimes they're called sugar pumpkins or pie pumpkins. There are these smaller, denser, sweeter, and creamier pumpkins. And these are the pumpkins that you want if you're roasting and pureeing your own pumpkin for baking. Now, if you prefer to buy canned pumpkin, that's totally fine. We used it today. While it's convenient, it works beautifully. What I want to do is take a minute to talk about the difference, because there are some differences in the can. So make sure that it is what you are actually taking home, meaning that you're actually taking home 100% pumpkin puree, because some people might get confused and bring home pumpkin pie filling. So just to share with you, I got some, and here it is. And I still have the can from the one that we used. I'm going to move this guy over for a minute. And I have the receipts because I thought it would be fun to tell you how much we paid for this. Now, they come in different brands, of course. This one, you want to do an overhead, honey? I could just show. So this one is the 100% pumpkin puree. And I don't know if you could see it. Let me see. Right here at the bottom, if you can read it, it's just one ingredient. And it says organic pumpkin puree. That's awesome. This one doesn't even say pumpkin filling. This one says easy pumpkin pie mix. What does that mean? It was the only one they had at the store. Otherwise, I would have bought the same size just to show you. The ingredients in here, I don't know if you could see it. It's several things in comparison, and I will read it because I don't know if you could really see that. Pumpkin, which is good to have on the first ingredient. Water, okay. Sugar, salt, spices, but it's not telling you what spices. Dextrose, so that's a stabilizer. Natural flavors. What exactly is a natural flavors ingredient? Could be anything, right? Could be anything. So that's not pumpkin puree the way it would be if you cooked, and made it this way. But this one is. So just make sure that it says, I like the organic pumpkin puree or 100% pumpkin puree. And then don't ever trust the front label. Always check the back and check the ingredients and make sure, okay, this one actually is just the pumpkin puree. And this is confusing because it makes it seem like, you can use it in a pie, but it's all those other things. So we don't, that's not the one to get. Now, I wanted to share with you, and I know this is a bigger one, so it's not apples to apples. Get it, Apple? But this is a 30 ounce versus this is a 15 ounce, but still I thought it was worth it. So the pumpkin puree, right? This one, $3.49 here in the United States. This pumpkin mix, the bigger can, right? So it should be a little bit more. It was on sale, but the regular price, $6.49, and it's just not even 100%. Wow, I was so surprised. But it was on sale for $1.50 off, so we paid $4.99. Wow. So, I just wanted to share, not only is it not what we're looking for because it's got all those additives, but it's more expensive. And so anyways, I have those receipts there because I don't really want to keep that, but I did want to show you guys and talk about it. Do you, let's see, I'm going to look here in the, okay, cats are carnivores. Oh, cats are Obligate carnivores. Okay, no to cats. Okay, guys, I now learned that it's just for dogs' tummies, not for kitties. And then Todd was talking about natural flavors. And so anything else that we have here? Oh, Apple 369, and that natural source could be animal. That's true. That's the thing. When they're not clear, we have no idea what that is. There are so many loopholes and different things. And so it's nice when you are buying something that comes in a container that you really understand what it is, right? And of course, if you don't want to do that, you're not sure, hey, go this route. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, we got 2 minutes to check it. Maybe I'll take a quick break here and we'll check these. I know they're not ready, but I do want to check them and I do want to turn them and I will bring them over here. Let's just do that, huh? Okay. So, oh, look at this. Careful, careful, careful. The little peak is starting to get, look at that. Oh, it smells good. See, the edge is starting to get a little brown. The peak is starting to get a little brown also because I didn't smooth it down, but that's okay. I'm going to turn it. And then I'm going to look at this guy here just to see what's happening here. I'm letting all the heat out. Oh my gosh, I got to make sure that I get this. And see, this one is cooking more slowly. I think it's thicker, but it's doing well. It's doing also well. So let's put that back in there. And continue on. Continue on. All right. So let's see, where were we? Okay, we're going to keep talking and then we're going to do the whip. Okay, so for whole food plant-based cooking, you always want to get the 100% pure pumpkin puree, which, you know, that's what we were mentioning. The one ingredient, that's it. Just make it simple. Remember, if you're not sure, and I have already said this, just check the ingredient label. It's going to tell you everything. And pumpkin pie filling usually contains other things than just pumpkin, like we talked about. Sometimes you can even find not only sugar, but flavorings, additives, and, you know, things that we don't like. So always turn around the can and make sure that it's only ingredient listed is pumpkin. So it makes a huge difference. And we already talked. Anybody else add in what they've made with pumpkins, or did we? Any more?
No, but there was quite the menu that came from the responses we got.
Yeah. So anything extra that we didn't bring up?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. Very good. Okay. So I also want to talk about what pumpkin spice really is. What in the world is pumpkin spice? Okay. Pumpkin spice is one of the most misunderstood blends out there. There's actually no pumpkin in pumpkin spice. It's simply a mix of warm fall spices, like the ones that we put in our pie today, right? The cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, clove. Sometimes you could put allspice. We have allspice, but we did not use that today. And you can absolutely buy a pre-made blend of, you know, a pumpkin pie spice, or you can make your own at home. If I were going to make my own at home, a simple pumpkin spice mix could look something maybe like, depending on how much you want, maybe like 3 parts cinnamon. I think it's nice to have a cinnamon flavor. 1 part ginger. I would do nutmeg, so maybe 1 part nutmeg, and then a half part clove or allspice, and then, you know, depending on your liking. And this way, when you make it yourself, making your own lets you control the flavor, and it tastes so much fresher, and you know exactly what's in it. So if you purchase some at the store, make sure it doesn't have added salt in it or other hidden additives that you might not want to be eating or putting in your food. Now, not to go on a whole thing about cinnamon, but there are different types of cinnamon, and I prefer the Ceylon cinnamon. There are different kinds, and so you want to make sure if that's important to you, for example, I don't know what kind of cinnamon they use in a pumpkin spice mix. So if that's important to you, that's another reason, this way you know exactly where you're getting it. We like to get our spices a lot of different places. What am I thinking of? Savory Spice is in California, and they mill their own. There's also some local people around here that do it as well, and so that's really important. And then sometimes we go to the store and we buy it. I don't know about where it comes from exactly, but I try to get an organic one, and we just do the best we can. All right. The whole food plant-based approach to our holiday favorites, right? I love recipes like this because they show that you can still enjoy holiday food, recipes like the one we're making, and family traditions, and then you don't have to compromise your health, which is so important. And you're not missing out on anything, guys. You are upgrading. Why do I say that? Because you're choosing ingredients that supports your body, your energy, your mood, and your long-term well-being that tastes delicious and great and allows you to feel great after you eat it, right? So no overly full, feeling sluggish, I need a nap kind of feeling will come from eating whole food plant-based foods. You can get overly full if you eat too many, but you're not going to feel the same as if you were eating the standard American diet. I know personally because I've experienced that. It actually gives me a boost of energy personally, and it makes me ready to get going, not to slow down. So do you find that to be true for you if you are living a whole food plant-based lifestyle? Can you tell the difference from maybe years earlier when you weren't eating this way? I would love to hear from you. Let me know. So, okay. I just want to mention, while people might be sharing that, once the pies are done, and we'll let them cool a bit, because I want them to set properly. So then we'll be able to slice it and add our homemade topping. I think what we should do now, unless there's any other questions, is maybe pull out the stuff and make our whip. What do you say? Any questions here? Okay, Apple369 says, oh, and pumpkin cornbread. Ooh, I've made that twice in the last few weeks. I like it spiced with gingerbread flavors. Now, gingerbread flavors, that's another delicious flavor. And boy, you are making me hungry. Not kidding. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to get out a couple of ingredients and we are going to make the whip. So we're going to be using aquafaba. We're going to be using maple syrup, vanilla bean extract, and arrowroot starch. Now, I am not a big fan of vanilla bean extract, but I did try this with vanilla bean powder, and it really did not work. I don't know if it was because it was heavy. It didn't, the peaks weren't there. The color was distorted. There were little pieces in it. So you can do it. The flavor would be okay, but we had a few testers test it, and everybody gave me the thumbs up for it with the vanilla extract. So I do around the holidays find that if I'm going to have extract in the house, this is the time. And normally every other time around the year, I like to use vanilla bean powder. So let me get out what we need. The first thing you also want is you want to, hold on one second, bear with me guys, bear with me. In my refrigerator, I want to refrigerate a bowl. I want it to be as cool as possible, okay? And beaters, I want those to be cold as well, and the aquafaba. Who knows what aquafaba is? I know some of you that are in the chat know what it is, but maybe somebody watching might not. So go ahead and share that while I get the last couple of ingredients out. And we're basically just going to be putting it in here, and we're going to beat it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, but we're going to do it in increments. So let me grab that. Were you going to say something?
In answer to your question, Apple says, "Oh yeah, I noticed a remarkable difference. I feel much better eating whole food plant-based,
Yes!
cognitively, physically, emotionally, etc." Mona says, "I buy aquafaba powder online.
Ooh.
I make a salad dressing too often to eat too often to eat that many peas."
Oh, okay. Well, this is a brand new one, but I think we have one that's open. So let me grab it. Okay, I never heard of aquafaba powder, so that's interesting. I have it here. Where this one comes from is garbanzo beans. So if you buy them in a can, that liquid is aquafaba. If you make them yourself in an Instant Pot, the liquid is aquafaba. And what I do is I drain it. If I use a can, I like to get Eden brand or what's the other brand? Westbrow brands, because there's no salt. I like no salt in it. And I like the way the lining is in the can. It's BPA free, and it's just really good. So I drain it and then I freeze it. I measure it and freeze it. This is 1/4 cup of cold aquafaba that I had in the freezer actually. And then I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. That's just the one that I'm using. You can use a different sweetener if you want. Look at that. Look, this is the end. Okay, so we've got that. Are you going to do the overhead? And then we have 1 teaspoon of, I'm just going to scrape this out because why not, right? 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Here's the one that I'm using. I just got it. I actually have a local company that sells extract, and we buy some sometimes. And I didn't have vanilla, so I had to go out to the store to get it for this. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of this. Whoa. Okay, 1 teaspoon. Whoops, why is it spilling? There we go. Okay. And lastly, arrowroot. Arrowroot powder is what we're going to be using, and we just want a teaspoon of that. So I have the Bob's Red Mill that I can show here, and I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon of that, although I just used a liquid in here. So let me rinse this off and dry it. And that's it. It's really simple. The thing that I want to tell you is that I really encourage you to do this right before you need it. Do not do this and then put it in the refrigerator. You can, and I did, and I'm going to show you. But what I found is that it's best when it's just freshly made. It really, really is. And you'll see why, because we'll compare it. Now, if, as close to your serving time as possible. Let me get my little hand mixer. And probably could do a little jig with this, but we're going to be going for 10 minutes. So what I want to do is I want to start out low for the first minute and then go faster from there. Let me plug this in. And I mean, it's been a long time since I've used a mixer of any sort. We have these big mixers here that I can't even remember the last time we used, but we also have this hand mixer. And I thought, wow, do I even remember how to do it? So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on. And I'm just going to start it at the lowest just to blend up the, mix up the arrowroot powder. Now, I have tried this with cream, cream of tartar? And it did not work. It didn't taste good, and it wasn't good because I know that there are other things that you can put in here, tapioca starch. I wouldn't do that one either. I think the arrowroot is the best. It's light, it's flavorless, it's odorless, it's really good. So now we're going to go for 10 minutes, and that's 14 minutes. So this was going to be perfect. I'm going to start to increase the speed. And what we're going to want to do is hopefully watch this transition. So Todd, let us see the overhead, and then from there we can show it. So let me just show you how it's looking. It's starting to get some bubbles. It's still pretty liquidy, and I just try to, and then I'm going to up the speed. This particular mixer goes to, the highest is 7. I'm going to 7, and it also should increase, so we want to increase it for at least the last 6 minutes, maybe longer, all the way to the top. You're going to want to keep going so that the peaks, are kind of stiff, like whipping cream, And let me just see this here. I'm just looking at the recipe. Now the arrowroot powder, that helps with the peaks to keep them staying firm and stable. Another thing that really helps is having this stuff chilled. So that's why if you want extra firmness or even a thickable, scoopable whip, then after the 10 minutes, you can refrigerate like another 20 minutes or so, and then it should continue to firm up. Okay, let's do the overhead. Look at how it's changing already, honey. Look at this. Can you see that, you guys? Look at that. I'm going to keep going. But and it should like triple in size. Look at that. Have you guys made this before or anything like this? I'd love to hear about it. Mona says, how long would this last in the refrigerator? I'm going to show you one that I have, and it's day 2. So that would be it. And it did not fluff up the way I wanted it to. So that's why I really encourage as close to when you're going to eat it as possible. Look at this. Look at this. You got to show this. I'm getting excited, you guys, because now you can see. You see how it's changing? You can see that it's making these like ribbons. I know that my hand's in the way, but it's really starting to really start to look good. And we still have plenty of time. So I'm going to keep going here, but that's a good question. I also would like to tell you about, like, the storage, since Mona asked. Okay. You can refrigerate the leftovers in the refrigerator in a sealed container for, like I said, up to 2 days. I didn't check it at the 1 day mark, but it definitely separates. So you're going to want to re-whip it. Or if you notice that it deflates after it's being stored in the refrigerator, you can give it a quick whisk. I used the hand whisker as fast as I could, and I wasn't really happy with it. So when we're done whipping this one, I'm going to re-whip that one with this thing and see. And I'll show you how that works. But it will fluff up. It is delicious still, but there's something that I just felt like it didn't hold it as well. So as close to serving as possible. And it only takes 10 minutes, plus if you have everything ready to go. It might be fun for your guests or people to kind of watch this kind of whip up. Okay, let's show again. What do you think, you guys? Look. Whoa, it's so cool. Isn't that fun? Then you can start making designs in it. That's what I like to do. So Apple369 says, this is bean water. Oh, did I miss something? I missed something. Let's go back a little bit. Many years ago, I made pavlovas with aquafaba. It worked wonderfully and blew everyone's mind. Now, what is pavlovas?
It's a meringue-based dish.
Okay,
It's,
that makes sense.
crispy on the outside,
Okay.
marshmallowy on the inside.
Got it. And then she said, "This is bean water." They kept saying, "Yes, it's bean water." Isn't that amazing? That is so funny, and that's what Todd said too. Jill Caperton said, "It's magic. It is magic." And so is the way that it tastes. You would never know. Mona Arendt 6384 says, "That's a lot for that small amount of liquid, right? It will triple in size." So you really don't need, it's deceiving. You don't need that much. And let's see how we're doing on time. We have 4 minutes left. Just let's take it to the end here. You got to see how great this is. And it's got so many fun uses, but you're just going to want to, I think you just want to use it right away. Okay. Now, Todd has not tasted this. Let me hear what your thoughts are. You were not one of the taste testers. Well, you were for the first one that had the vanilla bean powder in it,
and had the cream of tartar in it. As well.
And you gave it a thumbs down.
Big thumbs down.
And why is that?
The cream of tartar added just a really kind of odd tart taste to it that didn't jive. And
you didn't like it?
Did not.
Now, this looks different than the other one. Look at that, you guys. Yeah, I am so excited. It's just so fun. So I'm going to have to make this again for Thanksgiving for people coming to our house, because this isn't going to wait another 2 days. But that's okay. We will enjoy it today. There are all kinds of different things you can use it on. And I'll name some later, but, fresh fruit. Fresh fruit. That's what I want to use it for today. Yeah. So has anyone made this? This, using whip. There are different ways to make the whip topping. Has anyone made it a whole food plant recipe different than this? And how does that compare to how this looks? This is great. Oh my gosh. Let's just show you how this is coming. I know it's kind of, I wanted you to see it. So that's why I did the glass bowl, but it is kind of noisy and I apologize for that. But woo! Yeah. So much fun. Oh my God, I just love it. Okay, we are just about there. Are you ready? Oh my gosh, this is going to be so great. Nice. Is your mouth watering, honey?
A little.
A little? I hope that. Well, I'm going to have you come and taste it as soon as.
I hope so.
It's got 1 minute and 30 seconds or so. Let's just keep going. Mona says, "I wonder." Yeah. What is she? Oh, my hand is sticky. I must have something sticky on the board, but that's okay. We've been having a fun time. It's all good stuff. And this is looking so great. I mean, yeah, when you think about this little tiny jar that had a 1/4 cup, and the coloring, when we put everything in here, when we first started, the color was not, white, but this is really nice and white. Mona says, "Oh, I wonder if you sit your bowl in a bowl of ice, it would go faster." I bet it would. It might. I love that idea. I'm going to try that. I will try that when I make it again in 2 days. And I'll try to remember to share that. That is a great idea. Because I have bigger bowls, or even, I have like stainless steel mixing bowls, but then you can't see in it. But you can always put it in a bigger bowl with ice underneath and a little bit of cold water. That is a great idea. As long as you don't get the water in the recipe, you're going to be great. So ready, you guys? It's got 10 seconds left. I am going to say, I'm going to start slowing this down. Oh my gosh. Okay, check this out. You want to do the overhead? Ready? Can you see the peaks? Can you see them, Todd? Can you see the peaks?
A little, yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go the other view. You see the peaks? Peaks, peaks, peaks. Well, they're there for sure. So let me, I'm not going to unplug this because I want to pull that other one out. But I do want you, if you would please come in here and taste this and talk about texture, flavor, how it compares to like, you know, a ready whip or some kind of regular type whipped cream.
Gnarly whip.
Here you go.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello. There he
Hello.
is. There he is.
Oh, yeah. I can totally see the peaks from here.
Yeah. See,
All
it's
right.
hard to show.
I'm not going to eat a peak, but
Okay.
I'll eat around the peak.
All right. Let him see.
See?
Here we go.
Here, you want, I mean,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
another
it's
good
not
thing.
going anywhere.
Yep. Look at this. I should do that.
Yeah.
Look,
That's really good.
that is great. You have to really plop it. Really plop it.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's really good. Very airy texture, very light. There's, you know, some sweet going on in there, but there's also a little bit of a tanginess to it.
How would you rate this one compared to the other one?
It's almost like marshmallowy.
Yeah, it's not dense.
Right.
It's very airy.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great. Just a nice dollop. Look at this.
Really
Look,
good.
look, plop.
Really good.
So, all right. So, yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I am
my spoon with
going to be taking this out. Look, it's got 2 minutes on it. So while I'm just going to set this aside, I want to take this one out and share the one that's been in here for the 2 days. I did stir it up about an hour before we went on, and it still has separated. Can you see the liquid in there? And that's okay. But if it can let's just compare it. So it's kind of foamy. Oh, let's see. Can you show that? It's kind of foamy. It's foamy. And underneath it's separated. So you can see it on the side there. And I'm going to go ahead. This is like the wrong, let me see if I could do this without splattering me. Let's just see if we just mix it up oh, look at that. It fits. Isn't that great? Let me just see if I can mix it. Because when I did it with the hand whisk, it didn't really work. But maybe if it's with one of these, it will work. And I wouldn't go past 2 days, though, if we can get this to work. And I'm just going to do it for a couple of minutes. I mean, it is starting to fluff back up. But how long? How long is it going to take? And the color has changed, I think, a little bit over the 2 days compared to this one that we just did. Just slightly. It's just slightly. So it's up to you. You know, whatever you think is going to work, it's doable. It's just, I think the fresher, you're going to get the peaks and you're going to get the fresh airiness. The air is going to be in it nicely. God, I'm making so much noise. I'm so sorry. I don't know how else to do it in the glass bowl so you could see. Well, it is starting to get really... See, I did not do this earlier. I just used a whisk. And I would say the regular whisk just didn't do it. And look you could go for 5 minutes, but just going for a couple of minutes, right? We went for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It is starting to improve. I'm going to just turn this off and pop these out. Now, would you come and taste this one and just kind of compare them from the 2-day one? That would be nice. And I want to we'll do an overhead in a minute.
Okay.
So go ahead and try that.
So this one looks wetter.
And I also, and you know, it's not really apples to apples. I keep saying that, apple, because
But it's
We
still,
only whipped it for 2 minutes.
But it's still, I mean, it is a little bit, yeah.
So maybe if we went longer, maybe it would peak back up like this one.
But yeah, the color is a little bit different.
Color is a little different. Now, how's the flavor and the texture?
Still really good.
Is it runny? It seems a little like
no, but I think if you continue to do the blendy thing,
yeah,
it'll come back around, and I think it'll be okay.
well,
I think
there
it's
you have
salvageable.
it. Okay, there you have
So
it.
if you don't eat all of your whipped topping in 2 days, you can still eat it after that.
And we have not tried to freeze it and thaw it. I don't know about that. I just don't think it would be around.
I
Everyone's
don't think it's going to
eat
last that long.
So yeah, so compare those two to what you originally tried while I get this out of the oven would be great. If there's anything different to add, and if not, that's okay.
No, I mean, you know, it's always hard to try and recreate something that uses things you can't pronounce.
Well, yeah, that's true. Oh, wow, look at how good this came out.
Wow, look at that.
Let me just.
But no, it's really good. I would totally eat this entire bowl of it.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do an overhead so they can see that, and then I'm going to show the pies. And we have to let them cool. But let's just show this just because and of course, like, right? So there it is. And the color is better. It is better. Maybe I poo-pooed it and I shouldn't have. So there you go. You know, it's still holding up. Okay. So Mona, what do you think? Would you do it and keep it for the 2 days and try it? That's my recommendation. I haven't gone longer than 2 days, so I can only say up to 2 days. Let me show you what we have going on over here with these pies. And then I want to talk about one last thing. And I know we went over today, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, but check it out. Oh, I keep doing that like it's there. So this one is the no crust, the little bit of leftover. And I would try a toothpick, which I am not going to do right now, just to make sure that it's cooked. And if it isn't cooked, I would put it back in. This guy, look at this. This guy looks great. Really, really nice. And it actually kind of was a little bit, you know, rose a little bit. Do you want to show? So you could see it kind of puffing up. And the crust looks great. So this will be great. So, and I would also take a toothpick and check that. But we're going to set it aside. Now, okay. There's one other thing that I want to share with you, but I just want to say, once the pie is cool, then you can slice it and you add this homemade whip to it, right? On top of that, you can dust it with, if you want, like extra pumpkin spice or nutmeg or a little bit of cinnamon. I even like cacao nibs, which are just, you know, as a treat, or chocolate leaves. 1 per person or 1 per slice. Do you know what chocolate leaves are or how to make them? Okay, so while you're answering in the chat, let me go ahead and show you. And you'll want to do this the day before, or at least you know, half a day early. You'll need a few hours for the chocolate to set. Okay, so what I have in here is this kind of like makeshift double broiler. So I've got water in the bottom, and then I've got a bowl, and in the bowl I have a little bit of chocolate, and so I'm going to turn this on to let it melt. You could do this in the microwave. If you do it in the microwave, you're going to want to do 30 seconds and then open it up and check it. Do another 30 seconds and open it up and check it. You don't want to mix it a lot, but what I did is I kind of just take this little silicone brush and just kind of see if the chocolate moves, and then if it's mixable or scoopable or, you know, able to be painted, that's kind of what we're looking at. So you could do it the 2 different ways. This is going to take a little bit longer. Now, I have different chocolates that I bake with, and I'll show you. Excuse me. This is the Just Dates chocolate. This is chocolate chips, Just Date, only 3 ingredients, and they're vegan and no sugar added. And this is what we're using today. And it's got dates in it, of course, because it's just dates. So this might not be for someone that doesn't like dates. And it has organic cocoa butter and cacao. That's it. So I have also this one, which is their version of the organic milk chocolate chips. It does not have dairy in it. The only difference is that this one has cocoa butter in it as well. And I bought this one because it was the only one at the time that they had, but I was really looking for the dark. So we have the Just Dates. I also sometimes like to do this brand Enjoy. And it's also a dairy-free, nut-free, gluten-free, chocolate chip version. And let's see what the ingredients is. This does have cane sugar in it. So if you're not into sugar, go with the dates, the Just Date one. But if you're okay with it for a little bit, you got to do what works for you. And then I really started getting into this brand, Hue, and it stands for human. And so the ingredients is organic unrefined coconut sugar, organic cacao, organic cocoa butter, and that's it. Certified fair trade ingredients. So 3 simple ingredients. Anyways, those are the chocolates that I would recommend using for for this experiment here, or recipe. I shouldn't call it an experiment. So I'm going to let that continue to, can you get me the ones that I already made? I already made these. Okay, how do you make this? Oh, let me just see. Oh, Jill had to go. Bye, Jill. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Karen says, I'm allergic to cats too, Jennifer. Oh, we have another thing in common. Apple369 says, Jennifer, you're rocking it today. Well, thank you so much. And Mona says, I love those Just Date ones. Yes. Okay. And thank you, Todd. Go ahead and put the overhead camera on. So I have these chocolate leaves. Now, how did I make these? You please don't use any leaf in your backyard. Some leaves are toxic, okay? These are lemon tree leaves from our lemon tree. And I have some extra right here that I'm going to bring out. So these are sad looking leaves because they're not super green, but I already washed them. And I try to find ones that are the size of the pie slice. These are a little on the big side for what I would normally do. I like more of this size. And what you do is you wash the leaves and you're going to want to turn them over. You want to make sure they're totally dry. You do not want any moisture on the leaf. And you want to use the bottom part. And we're going to do it together as soon as I get this chocolate to melt. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you. This is something that is ready to go and you can't let it sit out. So you literally make your whip, slice it, put it on a plate, and then finish it off with a chocolate leaf. So here's the front side, and here's where the chocolate was. I do it a little on the thicker side. And then what you do is you just gently, carefully peel off the leaf, and hopefully you won't crack the chocolate. And if you do, no big deal, then you eat that one. Okay? And let me just see, and I'm just kind of gently taking this off. It's such a simple thing to do. And then look, can you see that? Look at that. And it's got the imprint of the leaf. And there you go. And I am going to put together a slice and really show you how to do this. But I also, let me just check this chocolate and see if I was able to get it melty enough just to show you. It's not really. Let me see if I could. Yeah. Oh, it's starting. It's starting. We just have to be a little patient. So what I'll do is I will plate something else and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I have this pie that I made ahead of time, which is already cooled. And, because this one isn't going to cool fast enough. But I want to cut into this. And we are going to make a nice plate here. Let me grab something to slice this with. And let's see. I don't even know what to use. Let's pull out a couple things. And then we will be wrapping it up. All right. So here we go. I hope I get all the way through. Now, this has been in the refrigerator. So I made this. When did I make this? Yesterday? Yesterday. And it's been in the refrigerator. And I'm like, well, we're just going to cut it live. And, really got to make sure I get all the way through. And then cut it this way. Oh, my gosh. Wow, you guys, I'm just really trying to put a lot of pressure on there to make it. The first piece is always the hardest one to get out. Don't you find that to be the truth? For me, it is. See, and it's not sticking. I just feel like this is just not cutting all the way. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let me make sure this side is like all the way through. Okay, here we go. Look at this. I'm so excited. I forgot a plate. Will you grab a plate out of there? One of those clear ones, sweetie?
Yes.
Okay. So in the meantime, I will put this in here and see if we can get a perfect piece out. The first piece. Pretty darn close, you guys. Okay, look at that. Can you see? It looks really, really great. It's not grainy. Oh, it smells great. Thank you. What do you think? You want to share?
I think it looks fantastic. I can't wait to eat it.
Okay. All right. So let me move this, and we will share that. Hopefully, you'll be nice and share that with me. This is boiling, so let's check this. Oh yeah, this is going to be so much better. Okay. So here we go. We've got the whip. I'm going to use this whip because we just whipped it. Oh my gosh, you guys. These are plants. And here is our beautiful leaf. Look at that. Look at that. So yummy. Oh my gosh. Now, we were going to take pictures. Should we try it on that one instead?
We'll do it.
Huh? Okay, so I guess aren't going to take, we're not going to taste that one because Todd wants to get some pictures so that when we put the recipes up, but we want to put our photo on it. So we will taste it with this one. This just doesn't have the crust, and that's okay. Let me cut a piece of this. Yum. So maybe another plate, and then we can each do one of these. And this one doesn't have the crust, but I want to show it to you. It looks really good. And it's holding its shape, right? Check it out. No crust, so maybe you don't want the crust, right? You don't have to. Here he comes with another plate. Thank you so much.
Mona has volunteered to come for dinner.
She did?
Yes.
Oh, I would love to have Mona over for dinner. That sounds like a great plan. Wish we lived closer, huh? Okay, so let's do this then. We're going to do the whip again. Whip, whip, whip. And I'm going to have to get a chocolate, one of these beautiful chocolate leaves. Let's do it again. See, and if you let it sit out too long, I feel like it's already starting to melt. It's really, really last minute. And like as you're serving it, look at this. Oh, so pretty, you guys. I hope you try it. And if you don't want to do the leaf, you could take some cacao nibs. You can do those other things that we talked about. But I have done these leaves, these chocolate leaves for, pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving for years. When my kids were little, we used to do this, except it wasn't made with all plants. All right, so let's take a look. Do you want to show this one? And then we'll taste it. Yeah. All right, let's do it. And then we're going to show them how to make a leaf, and then we will be off. So.
The best part.
Look at this. Do this one. That's a nice big piece.
Which one, this one?
Yeah, let me move this over.
All right.
Because this one's a little. Make sure you get the chocolate leaf in there. Take a bite of it or something.
I'm just gonna break a little piece. Off.
Okay.
Here we go.
Wait, let me get you.
I'm
Let
waiting.
me join you. Oh my gosh, I've got to get a little bit of this in there too. Yum.
All right.
Hold on.
Come on.
Ready?
All right.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good.
I might just eat that on Thursday.
That is yummy.
All of it.
All of it?
By myself.
Oh my gosh. So tell me, it does taste sweet. It tastes sweeter than like, your traditional Thanksgiving, but we do have a lot of dates in here.
Well, yeah, you got the sweetness of the chocolate
Ooh.
and the whip. But you've also got that really good pumpkin flavor and that pumpkin spice thing going on in the pie itself. So no, I think it's a really nice balance.
Yay. Oh my gosh.
Nice that I'm just going to continue to.
You can take it and go ahead and take it with you. And I'm going to just get this chocolate and see if we can make a leaf.
Right.
You love it?
I do.
This is hot, so please be careful if you're over there.
Okay.
So here, let's see if you want to do the overhead. I can show.
That means I have to walk away from the pie.
You don't have to. You can take it with you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, it's not really that hot. Oh, I can hold it. Okay. So here you go. You see how it's spreadable? You take your leaf. Where are the leaves? The new leaves. Are these? No, those are the ones that I used. Oh, here they are. I'm sorry. I have them over here. Some more leaves. I'm running out of room here. And we have them turned over. Do you want to paint a leaf, Todd? You can. The thing is, you want to make sure that it's kind of thick.
Sorry, that was probably pretty loud.
Kind of thick. Okay, you want to do an overhead for this? And then all I'm doing is painting it on the leaf. However you want. If you don't have this kind of spatula thing, silicone brush, use a spoon, use your fingers, use whatever you have. Nice and thick, you see? And then I like to set it on parchment paper and then stick it in the freezer. And you literally do not have to wait long. An hour, maybe less. But just remember, it's also going to thaw pretty quickly. Oh, I started doing this. Do you want to come and do one?
Okay.
You're okay? It would be fun. It's fun. I like playing with my food, but that's fine. Okay, so this is really a fun thing to do with grandkids or friends or anybody that you have coming over, because this you could do ahead of time. All right, and then I just like to take these and set it on something flat, and then there you go. You put it in the freezer, and you're ready. Okay, so whoops, let me just set these aside because those are going to go in the freezer, and we will use those. Any questions or anything? No? Okay, so thank you, Todd, for being a taste tester.
It's a rough job.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I want to thank you all so much for spending this time with me today and diving deeper into the beauty of nutrition, of pumpkins. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up or share it with someone you love, and make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Arizona time. I also want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating this week, and a very happy beginning of this year's holiday season to all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you staying over, and I always want to make sure that you know I really want you to remember, don't forget to eat your greens. And like I always say, give plants a chance. You won't be disappointed. Take care, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.